Hi, I'm Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. Welcome back. Today we're going to make an all-time favorite, something I think everybody loves, and this is a pound cake. And let me tell you, this is a killer pound cake. It's one of those pound cakes, once you start cutting and eating it, you just can't stop. So I got my old KitchenAid out, and we're going to start making it now. The first thing I put into it is I've got regular all-purpose flour, and I'm going to put 3 even cups of all-purpose flour into this. And I use my knife to measure it off. That's 1. That's 2. You know, and I kind of weighed this out. And, you know, they call it a pound cake because it used to be years ago that everything you put into it, you put a pound of sugar, a pound of butter, a pound of flour. Well, when I was doing this, I weighed the sugar out and the flour out, and it came to about a pound, each one of them. All right, that was 3 cups of flour. Now I'm going to put 3 cups of sugar. Okay, to that 3 cups of sugar, I'm going to add some Crisco, okay? And what I found out, if you take your things for Crisco and slightly spray each one of them, the Crisco comes out easily. So this is butter flavored Crisco. I can use regular or butter flavored. I just think the butter gives it a little bit more buttery flavor. So what I'm going to do is I want to put 1.5 cups of Crisco in here. So I'm going to measure 1.5 cups of Crisco out. And like I said, this is a rich, well, you just have to try it, because once you try it, you'll see what I mean. It's incredible. See how that all came out just about with I didn't have to dig into Crisco and try to scrape it all out. It makes a big difference if you have little cooking hacks at work. I had a great uncle that lived with my grandmother and grandfather for a while, and he was a mess. He was a grumpy old man. But every morning he only wanted pound cake. He put it in a bowl. He'd take his coffee, pour his coffee over his pound cake, and then he'd go somewhere and eat it. So that's what he had every morning, every day of his life. So my grandmother was always had pound cake made. All right, to that I'm going to add like 1/4 teaspoon, I'm not going to measure it, of salt. Just a little bit of salt. And I'm going to add to that 1/2 cup of milk. Now, I'm going to put my paddle blade in there. If I can get it past the Crisco here. And I'm going to turn this on real slow to just get this slightly creamed. I'm gonna let it blend like this for maybe like a minute. And all I'm doing is I'm just creaming the Crisco, the flour, and the shortening together. So I'll show you in just a second. That's all I need to do is right there. And I'll sort of bend this over to show you. You can see that it's sort of a powder mixture. Now, the next thing we're going to put in this thing is a dozen eggs. All right, I just went out and back and just got these. I'm going to put 2 in at a time. That's one. And we'll turn this back on. And that's making it fluffy and fluffier as it goes around. But like I said, this is really an incredible cake. You've got all the sugar in it. Well, that's what happens when you're talking, okay? I put 2 of my eggs back in the egg bowl, so I'll have to go get 2 more eggs. But that's what makes it fun. Life is not perfect, and I'm not perfect. You know what? I think I only need 1 more anyhow. I think I overcounted here. So I've got 1 egg here in the refrigerator. No, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to leave it like it is. All right, I'm going to let this blend just like this, mix for about 5 minutes. So it gets really creamy, blend up. So I'll be back in 5 minutes and I'll show you the results. Okay, this has been blending about maybe 4 or 5 minutes and it's really rich and creamy. So while you were away, I went ahead and put 2 more eggs in there. So I'd have my dozen eggs. So anyhow, it has 12 eggs in it now. I'm going to stop it at this point and I'm going to put my flavorings in it. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of lemon, I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of almond. Okay, got a half teaspoon, and then I'm going to turn this back on for just to blend that in there for about 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to get my pan and show you. Now, this makes a big fruit cake, and not many people have a big pan like this, okay? So what you can do is you can make 2 smaller ones or make 2 loaf pans. A lot of times I make 2 loaf pans and I share it with somebody, okay? But I just pulled this one out today. You should grease and flour your pan really well. What I use is a spraying oil that has the grease and the flour already in it. So I shake this a little bit to make sure the flour is all mixed up, and then I make sure that this is floured. I don't know whether you can see that or not, the flour in there. Make sure this is floured all the way around. I want to make sure it gets to the center, around the edges. But this is amazing because I used to have to take butter and flour and everything. I have that really greased, really greased, so you can see that. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off and lower this. I'm going to turn it on a little bit to see if I can get most of it off of my paddle here. All right, let me take my paddle off of here. And get as much of the batter as I can off my paddle. Now you can do this by hand, and you can do it with a hand mixer. You don't have to have a hand stander, a standing KitchenAid machine to do this. It just makes it simpler for me. Then what you're going to start doing is you're going to start just gradually going around pouring your batter. Boy, I can smell that almond. I can smell that lemon. Now my oven's been heating at 300 degrees, and I'm going to cook this for about an hour and 20 minutes. I'll let you know exactly how long I cooked it once it comes out the oven. but you will see it's a beautiful cake when it comes out. Let me scrape all this out. I want to get all of this batter out. But pound cakes are wonderful in the summertime. You can use them for, for strawberry shortcake. And they're great birthday cakes also to make. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to sort of shake it around a little bit so I can get the top smooth. I'll bump it a few times. By doing this, it allows all the bubbles from the bottom to come up. So I've got this pretty smooth. I'm going to put it in my oven right now for about an hour and 20 minutes, and I'll be back to see you then. Welcome back. It's been about an hour and 20 minutes, and I think our pound cake is ready to come out. Everybody's oven is different, so you might want to watch your oven to see after an hour. It might be an hour and 10 minutes, or it might be an hour and a half for you. But I think mine's ready, so I'm going to take it out so you can see it. Oh boy, it smells good. Can y'all see that? It's a beauty. The steam is still coming off of it. I tell you what, I'm going to let this cool for about 5 minutes and see if I can get it on the plate, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got our pound cake out, and there it is. It's beautiful. It's ready to serve. This would be really nice if you were having a party. You could fill it full of strawberries inside here, and just a lot of different things. So I will cut it so you can see the inside of it. It's still a little warm. It would be better if it was cooler, but I have to share things with you, my friends, so you can see what it looks like. And there it is. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. It's soft inside. It smells incredible. Oh, the top has a little crunch to it. The middle is soft. This later on with some ice cream or a cup of coffee is going to be incredible. I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have enjoyed. I've looked forward to making this all day because I love pound cake and I want some tonight myself. Thanks again for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel so I know that you're interested in seeing more. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you'll try this pound cake. It's a standby that's been around a long, long time. I've been in for many, many years. So until next time, I'm Jim Mann in Mexico saying, take care of yourself. Thanks for having me in your home. God bless. I got to thinking after I signed off, I wanted to say something to you. I said, thank you all so much for putting up with me and my bloopers and with my egg episode today. I could have just started all over again, but I wanted you to see that I'm human like everybody else. And cooking is not perfect, and you spill things and you drop things. So thank you so much. I wanted to share that I'm human too. So once again, take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.